Hi, I'm Ann Toole, reporting for GameDev.net, and I'm here with Per Rosendal, the CEO and founder of Guppyworks. So, Per, would you like to tell us a little bit more about Guppyworks and how you got started?
Yeah. Well, actually, we have a background from developing kids games. We have been around since the mid-90s. Done a couple of 20-something number of games for kids. And through our work with the kids games, we have done some surveys and studies, and we looked at the customer or kids' behaviors when they're playing games. And one of the results was that up to a certain age, both sexes were equally interested in playing games, but at a certain age, girls dropped out of the games. And in my belief, that was not because girls are not able to what you would call understand technology, play with new medias. It was more a matter of, or is more a matter of, a lack of games that are satisfying girls, that are appeal to girls in the same way that games are appealing to boys.
How did you become interested in this topic?
It's because I wondered why nobody else were interested in that topic. So I think that has been a way for us to work to try to go in a direction where not that many other people were going, and so many people were aiming at the same demographic in the games market, doing the same kind of games. All those were goal-oriented games, whether being shooters or sports games or whatever. And if you look at the play culture, boys' play culture and girls' play culture, there's of course a lot of similarities. But if you take the helicopter view and have a look at a typical boy and a typical girl, it's pretty. You can say that a boy is goal-oriented in the way that he is playing, and a girl is process-oriented. So a boy wants to know what's the goal, who does he have to kill, and a girl wants to know who is he together with, and how is it functionally going to function socially, and that and this aspect are not being, you could say, covered very much by traditional games, and that was why we decided to try to find out how to make a game that could serve girls better. Well, of course, many girls love to play shooters, love to play World of Warcraft as well, but there are a lot of girls not being satisfied with those kind of games, and that's the lack in the market that we would like to fill.
What is your design approach for designing games for girls?
Well, there have been many approaches, and you can maybe a bit unusual when we are. No, I would put it another way. We have tried to make a lot of games, a game concept for girls, and turned out a lot of ideas in the traditional directions, like horse games, pet games, and all that. Fashion games turned out. So we tried to step back from that and said, what else could we do? And it was actually a technological breakthrough that took us on the right path. A co-founder of the company developed a AI technology, making it possible for virtual characters to, so to say, imitate human behavior. And that means it is possible to create a virtual character that you can actually relate to, a character that can have feelings, and a character that you can have feelings for. And that was that was a breakthrough in the game design process. And this is very much a key element in the work that we do.
So tell us a little bit about your new game that you're coming out with.
Our new game the game that we're working on at the moment is called Guppylife. It's a kind of MMO. It's not an MMO like World of Warcraft where you have to be hundreds of people at the same time, because girls tend to work or to prefer to play socially in smaller groups. So it's an MMO for smaller groups. Of course you can play thousands of people at the same time, but you won't be together thousands of people at the same time. And it's very much a game about building and creating relationships and maintaining those relationships.
So are you familiar with Bartle's 4, the archetypes of MMO players?
Yes, but I don't think that. Of course, seen from a technical point of view, you can learn about a lot from those type of games. But seen when you look at the content side, I would say we don't find much inspiration there.
How soon do you have the girls come in and play the games?
As soon as possible, but as we are addressing non-grown-ups, a typical player in our game will be what you call a tweenie. You have to have something that is looking pretty finished to make them relate to the game and to the characters. They cannot relate to a description or to a technical model.
So how long does it take you to get from concept to something that the girls can play?
It took us more than a year. We have been testing it with girls for the last 6 months. So you have to go quite a way before you can start testing it.
What do you see as the biggest problem facing the people designing for girl games? What do you see as a big problem that people are not addressing?
If you are for instance, working with animations, it is pretty clear that when a character is being animated, a female animator very often sees some small details that a male animator doesn't care about. They have another, for instance, the way that a character moves her hand. A female animator will often be able to have those fine details that turns out to be convincing that a male animator doesn't see. They can be very good, but they are looking at other kind of details, and that is a problem to find enough skilled people. There are much more in the games business. There are much more male animators than there are female animators. So that is, of course, something that you have to overcome.
All right. Is there anything you'd like to add? Maybe one of the most important lessons you've learned from designing girls' games?
Like with other games, you have to be very honest to your target group and understand what they are dreaming of. That's goes for girls' games as for boys' games.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.